Our 2024 Whoop UCI Mountain Bike World Series is well and truly underway. We're here at round 7 of our UCI Mountain Bike World Series in Leogang, Austria for round 3 of our UCI Downhill World Cup season. Leogang, Austria, the iconic venue for the World Cup circuit. We've had our Enduro and E-enduro World Cup action earlier this week. Some athletes have put in some amazing performances, with Richie Roux dominating the men's, Isabeau Corduria taking out the women's. And in our E-EDR category, we had some fantastic performances from Martin Mays and Flo Espiniera from the Orbea factory team. My name is Josh Carlson. I'll be filling in for the one and only Rick McLaughlin, who is unfortunately ill here today. We'll also have Rachel Atherton in the booth and Aaron Gwynn joining us here today. As you can see from the weather, it's a little bit moody. It's a little bit spicy out there. The clouds have rolled in and the rain has fallen all night. Near perfect conditions yesterday the riders were met with, but today it is going to be a far different story here. Fingers crossed it comes good by the end of today. For our schedule on the cards today, we have our downhill women's junior final at 12:30. 1 o'clock is our downhill men's junior final, rapidly followed by our elite women at 2:15 and our elite downhill men's at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Saalfelden-Leogang, Salzburger, Austria. It's been an iconic venue for years and years now and provided some fantastic racing. 2023 saw the Austrian double take out the win with Andy Kolb and Valentina Holl. It's going to be another fantastic race here today. The fans are frothing for it, and Valley Hole, can she take another win here at home? Earlier in the week, we caught up with two of our brightest young stars, Asa Vermette and Heather Wilson, from our Junior Downhill World Cup circuit. Amazing to see the talent of these riders and the speed. Let's hear from them now.
Yeah, Scotland was great. It's super fun. It was my first World Cup. Just stoked to be in a place that I've watched all my life. And it went really well for me. I got first in junior.
Here we go. Asa Vermette for Frameworks Racing won his first ever UCI Downhill World Cup for the first time asking in Fort William last time out.
I broke my hip 5 weeks before Fort William, so I was just coming into it like just wanting to ride pretty much. I've been sitting on a couch for 5 weeks, but so before that I was expecting to do good, and like I was just wanting to do my best, and now that I'm back to it, yeah. Fort William, it was sweet to compare. I think I would have gotten 12th, but yeah, it's sweet to compare with the pro men. I know you can't really do it, especially in Poland. It rained for our race run, but it's cool to be able to ride the same track. Yeah, probably my first win in Fort William. It was my first World Cup race, and it was just crazy to win a race that I've been watching forever and be like maybe not the strongest I've been, and it was just actually a pretty big surprise, and I was just super stoked. I'm still stoking about it.
Heather Wilson then for Muck-Off Young Guns. What a story this was last time out. Won her home race at her first UCI Downhill World Cup in Fort William, the young Scottish rider.
Oh, it was crazy. I didn't even I didn't even think I'd get a third place. And then I came over the line and I'm like beating Eris, and I'm like, what? And then, oh, it was just crazy. I was so stoked with it. Well, everyone kept saying, I kept hearing people being like, oh yeah, it was because Fort William was a local track.
Heather Wilson, 2 to go here in Fort William.
And that's probably how I got an advantage in that. But when I got to Poland, I was like, okay, I did Fort William game, I'm just gonna have fun again, and it worked.
Let's see what the split time says for the young Scottish rider then.
She's looking solid.
I'm really good in the rain and slick, but at the same time I can have my moments where I slip and I might crash or something. So I would be happy if it did rain, but then at the same time in the dust it's I feel safer, so I feel more fast. But I'm a bit skeptical of the dust. I'm like, ooh, I'm not used to it. I don't really care too much about what happens, but it'll be fun. I kind of want to try win every race, but I'm not really sure how that'll go. I'm really excited for Andorra because I really want to be world champ, but then I'm like, that's really difficult. But I think I'm going to just try my hardest at every race and just have fun, and I'll just be happy with whatever happens.
Amazing to hear from some of our fastest young up-and-coming talents on the circuit. Incredible times and incredible results. And I was just told from young Rick that Heather has won 50 races on the trot. Incredible. Earlier this week, I was joined by Rick McLaughlin up on course to check out the Leogang track here. There's so much going on, a real tale of two halves. We're going to go and check it out shortly here to break it down and see what some of the key sections are of our Leogang Austria circuit here for round 3 of our UCI Downhill World Cup series racing.
Hello everyone and welcome to the stunning surroundings of Leogang, and we are here for Rick's Recce.
Hey, whoa. This is Carlson on course, mate.
Look, I don't know why you got to make this awkward. I got good feedback.
I am not mad about this, but I'm just letting you know it's Carlson on course.
Right, let's settle this like a couple of men and go for a walk.
I'm not mad about it. We're going to check out Leogang Downhill World Cup track together.
They fell over then.
Pretty simple start straight away. I mean, brand new section of grass, but starts to get a bit real fast.
Look at it though, look at Leogang. So nothing maybe brand spanking new at the top section in Leogang, but just a couple of little pinches like this, bit narrower, bit more to think about, bit nibbly.
But this thing is definitely not new, but this is so gnarly, so high speed, so many lines, it's so crucial to this whole next bit.
The famous Leogang route section and absolutely key part of the course. You're not going to win the race in here, but you can definitely lose it. Josh?
Because it's gnarly at the top there, you've got to pick your line early, but this exit down here feeds all the speed into the motorway. We've spoken about the motorway year after year after year, and it's a crucial part here. High speed, big jumps, a lot of scrubs. Let's go and have a look.
So this is at the famous motorway section, and think of this as a 60km/h BMX track where you got on the 11 landing in every takeoff.
Oh, that is so much harder than I expected. Okay, I've obviously got way too excited. Left Rick as he got called into action, but this bit here as we drop down into the woods from the motorway where it starts to get a little bit steep and dirty, there's a huge double jump here. That top root garden, they double all the way to this little tree pad onto the bridge. Real gnarly section of trail. The speed starts to come down here, but the technical aspects of this track really starts to ramp up. Look at how steep this is. Now I'm 6'1", and that thing is way above my head, and it just starts the steeps of Leogang. Leogang, it's such a mix of bike park, high speed, but there is these really steep, gnarly sections which feed us all the way to the bottom. And this is quite a simple bit, but we've seen time and time again, this costs people the run right here, a simple corner, but the finish line is down there and not here, so you need to pay attention and stay focused all the way to the finish line. What a track here in Leogang, seemingly simple, but so complicated to put it together and be perfect, be precise, be committed, and fast the whole way down. It was great to have Rick out on our course preview, and we're looking forward to seeing him again next time. For now, we'll see you trackside. So many parts to this circuit to piece it all together and put down a dominating run. It's a 2.1km circuit here, just under 450 meters of vertical drop. There is 2 rooted, stumpy sections up top throughout the Leogang bike park into the motorway section. We've seen it time and time again as they emerge from the Motul high-speed section. The speed coming into the woods is crucial. That split time 3 before they drop into the Michelin drop. And then that Shimano last turn. We saw Ronan Dunn get a little buck wild coming down there yesterday. So they have to clean it up. They have to hold it together. And now with the sky falling down overnight, the conditions will be spicy, to say the least, for our junior competitors this morning. So as you can see, there is a bit of clouds lurking around. There is still a bit of moisture left in the air. We are predicting some storms later. So you saw what I had to say about the course, and right now we're going to see it firsthand from last year's winner Andy Kolb, joined by a couple of fast friends on this Leogang circuit.
Here we go. First section, like always pretty much. And the boys already go fast. First off camber, always tricky. And it is slick today. Oh, I nearly forgot about this. There's an inside-outside line. We're doing outside here because it's just easy. Sneaky inside. Did that last year as well. Oh, Poldy's already gone. And now it's getting tricky. Wrong line running. Whew. Yeah, it is tricky. A lot of slippery routes. Go up high here. And then there's famous dump section. Oh, I'm already breathing. There's going to be a lot of inside lines as well, but we're taking it safe now. Oh, missed the hard line, took the small jump. Can't believe it. Get on your pedals! Oh, this is so fast. Big wall rides. Always a big stand there. Here we go. Into the woods. My all-time favorite section in Leogang. Tricky. And it is slick. Oh, definitely messed up my line there. Let's try a new inside line. We did a lot of work there. Woo! Oh my god, the boy's going fast. Yeah, that's tricky. A lot of line selection here. Try outside here. Hard to tell at the moment what line is going to be good. Oh, luckily we caught it right there. And into the finish line. Last tricky corners. Always hard to race that one. Very important to carry your speed. Oh, it's long straight. And here we go. Finish line jump. Yee-hoo! Oh, that was good.
How good is that? We have our 2023 winner, Andy Kolb, chasing down the man of the moment, Ronan Dunn. He's on a tear right now and on such a confidence streak, riding well and winning races. Really cool to see their perspective coming down this course here. Andy Kolb be excited and keen to put it together today. He's been out on track all morning. Speaking of on track, here's who we have coming up for our women's junior final. Heather Wilson is our #1 seed. Sasha Ernest, Reese van Leuven, our 2023 world champion. Sasha Mills still on the return from her injury earlier in the year. Number 12, our 12th seed for today, Amelia Dudek, fresh out of her home country race in Bielsko-Biala. Look at the start line there for today's race. Today I am joined by the one and only Rachel Atherton. Rachel, welcome to the commentary booth. Thank you for joining us here today. You've been here once or twice before. You know how this feels for this start list of our women's juniors.
Yeah, thanks Josh. It's so good to be here and actually amazing to be sat here and commentating, not riding. hard track it looks like, yeah.
It looks like a hard track indeed. Heather Wilson, a #1 rider, is seated in 6th place there. And Sasha Ernest, Reese van Leuven, Eliana Hultjebok from New Zealand. There's a bunch of our up-and-coming talent here. Rachel,
yeah, it's going to be a good race.
Has been exceptional. Oh, a little bit of PDA on course. Hey, we're all excited to be here. Heather has been on a tear recently. She's won every race so far, and we just heard that stat before. She's won 50 races on the trot. What incredible. A run for such a young talent.
Since she was 10 years old, you said, yeah. Yeah, and I mean, she's had such a good start to the season. It's kind of, I saw her yesterday just after qualies, and she looked pretty annoyed, pretty gutted. And, you know, when you start so fast, it's got to come to an end at some point. And we're off then.
Minu Stokers is on course, navigating her way down through the upper section. We heard from some of the riders earlier today, this off-camber grass is one of the most treacherous bits to navigate considering the weather conditions overnight.
Yeah, and I think the junior women almost have it the worst because they get the earliest practice and they get the earliest race, and it's kind of dries up as the day progresses, so they often have the hardest conditions, I think. Which is pretty, it's pretty daunting and kind of savage for them, really.
Really savage.
And I guess they kind of on track now. They haven't seen it since the elites have all been down, so, you know, that kind of blows it up even more, and the holes are coming out every time the elites get on track, and they're kind of coming into the race after elite practice, so they're probably going to be a bit surprised by some of those holes that they find.
A bit surprised indeed. This upper section should hold together quite nicely. It is a lot of bike buck, as you can see, in a few man-made sections there, a couple of double jumps, so it should hold together.
It's such a cool track. And it's hard, like you were saying before in the pre-show, like it's kind of a track of 2 or 3 halves, isn't it, really? You've got like such a bike parky section where that whole top bit to now really you've got to set your bike up, you know, firm, and then kind of after that motorway section it gets so steep and greasy, and the riders are saying the tyre pressure is really hard to kind of come to, you know, to come to a decision on, like, do you have it soft for the techie slippery bit, or do you have it hard for the motorway and the bike park section?
And these stump sections here, they're quite short in reality, but the consequences are massive, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean,
come into so much speed.
Coming onto this motorway, it's all about holding speed, and you know we've seen it, big gaps in the times, and I think it's all the speed you can carry onto this motorway, and you know. You can see even her shirt is kind of flapping, like even stuff like that here in Leogang makes a huge difference. And if you get the sweet spots on the back sides, you're going to make probably a second each jump, really, and there's loads of jumps along here.
What was your go-to along the motorway section? Were you a tuck
I always
rider?
was pretty. I always lost a bit of time on the motorway. You know, not naturally a jumper, so I always lost time. But it was always to find the back slopes, you know, the down slopes, and you got to pedal, really. You got to pedal as hard as you can. You carry this speed all the way into the woods, really. So it's a long section and kind of frustrating. You know, it doesn't really matter how well you ride the tech if you lose time on that motorway. It's
Is that
hard
right?
to
It's
get
that
it back.
important. That top bit is so important. Look at the slime coming into the woods there. You can see how much that rain has really sucked into the track. We've heard from a few riders out on course. Oh,
God,
that is a bit slippy.
So difficult. Yeah, I just feel sorry for everyone that's racing today. I mean, fair play to them, you know, tackling that early on in the morning, and to be the first rider on track for the race day is, yeah, she's doing super well, actually.
Yeah, to be fair, Minnow's looking good through here. She's holding herself well on the bike. She's looking calm and composed.
And it's steeper than it looks. It's always so much steeper than it looks on the cameras, you know, and she's composed, like you say, and kind of, you don't want to grab a handful of brake. You want it to be kind of feathered, and look at her really making those tyres grip. It just looks so... And the Charlie Hatton off our team, he was saying his last practice run, it's almost the drier it gets, the worse it gets, you know.
Do you think we're in that weird spot right now where it's going to get worse before it gets better? I mean, there's not much wind out there right now. The sun is not poking through.
I feel like if it absolutely hammered it down all day, it'd be better.
It'd be better.
Yeah.
Oh.
And this is like that last jump out of the woods now. Like, she's made it through there clean. She didn't even dab or put a foot down. But if you don't hit that jump, but it's tricky, you know. That I stood up there a minute ago with elite practice, and a lot of the elite men and women like kind of messed up into it and had to roll round. So I feel like it's good for the juniors to commit to going around. You know, it's the last thing you want to do is commit to doing the jump, then change your mind, slam your brakes on. Like she rode round super well, carried a lot of speed.
And that's not a jump you want to miss. Not much change out of 15 metres coming down there. So Minnow Stouffer starts our junior women's campaign. That was a clean run.
Yeah,
that was quite good.
And from here it actually looks pretty dry, but I know it's not dry.
It's far from dry. Our junior USA champion, Kale Cushman, on track.
Yeah, and it says on her Instagram profile that she's actually dual slalom champion as well, which is sick.
That is sick. Ken Corner.
And it's a cool name. I like her name. But I feel like, you know, seeing there's a couple of American girls come in, like young girls. Yes, sent it.
Goes for the massive creek gap there.
Oh, so do you think she's had a crash? We've cut straight to the bottom here for her run, and
yeah, it looks
11,
like
11 down. So
There's a bit of change there. She was 1.5 up in that upper section, so she hit the upper grassy bits and wooded sections smooth and calm, but unfortunately lost about 12 seconds there on split 2. She has made it back. She's brought it back to 7.
Yeah, so hitting that jump, and it's a gnarly jump, that, like you said, there's no room for casing it, no room for error.
Wow, look how much time she brought back.
Oh, wow,
she came back to 0.2 of a second off. Unfortunate mistake there. In the gate now, the Australian Sasha Mills. She's recovering from injuries. She had a broken collarbone.
Yeah.
The Australian Championships earlier in the year. Got a bit sick recently, but she's on track here.
Yeah, and it's really hard to come back mid-season from.
And being back to back, there's no room for error, is there? Oh, she's had a great run so far. She's navigated the steeps and the slippiness. She's 3.3 up at split 4.
This corner, oh my gosh, I just wish they would get rid of that corner. It's awful. It's so difficult. You ride all that track. She's done a clean run, absolutely smashed it, and then that corner's just so awkward.
She's across the line. She finishes the sprinting to the line. What has Sasha Mills got for her? She comes home 9.4 seconds up and takes the hot seat so far for the young Australian.
No such thing as Aussie's just been good in the mud.
It's true. Matilda Melton on track right now from the Transition Factory Racing team.
So another American. And like I was saying before, it's cool to see.
Oh no, Matilda's
and you can see how early it starts going wrong, and there's literally no grip. You know, you almost, I said on the course, you almost want a slow puncher at the start of these woods.
Yeah, look at that. She just waits that front, and then once it goes, she goes.
Yeah, there's no, it's greasy. There's no rut there. Your bike's just sliding. Once you start sliding, you've had it, really.
Now, we've heard the course is quite hard packed underneath. We have had rain.
Yeah, that's why it's so slippery.
Because it's not soft. It's not
it's so hard packed, and that's what you get with a bike park kind of venue. And it's the same at home at W Bike Park. You know, it rains, it's slippery because there's so much traffic on it. It gets packed in.
Matilda Melton, she's across the line. She was riding well.
Yeah.
What can she do to the finish? She's 6.8 back from Sasha Mills there. She was on pace for the earlier splits. So that little mistake has cost her about 7 seconds. So there's plenty of positives to take away there. Amelia Dudek on track.
So she's fresh from the... she's Polish, isn't she? So home World Cup last race, and... that's a lot of pressure for a home World Cup, I think.
Does the pressure make it feel better?
Yeah, and I think she had a bit of a nightmare there, and it's so difficult to do well at home race, and that's why this venue is so exciting at the moment. You know, with Valley Hole last year and Andreas. So I think she's stoked to just.
Look at those ruts developing in the landing there. That is quite gnarly.
In practice, they were landing that step down out the woods, and then that next tiny little knuckle, you don't think it's anything. It was sick. They were sliding in the mud off the lip. The shapes the riders were getting in, just trying to stay on their bikes off that jump was awesome.
She slightly got caught out into the woods there. She dropped 15 seconds back. Maybe a mistake that we didn't quite see, but she's no worries over the final jump. Amelia Dudek across the line into 5th place with a 4:31. Yeah, she's definitely had a little lie down there. Look how dirty a kid is. Her overall series leader.
It's almost like, oh yeah, here she is.
On track here.
So she's literally won the first 2 races of the season. Sick.
She's on a tear, goes for the massive... a little case. Hopefully that didn't cost her too much time there.
Yeah, and she did say in that show, didn't she, that she doesn't really mind what happens, but I know that's absolutely not true, because these girls are all here to win and get on the podium, and they're fierce, you know, it's on for the junior women.
It's on, all right. I've just heard she's 3 seconds up in the upper split here. She's made taken a huge chunk out of Sasha Mills in that early section. Wow, carrying some great speed in that brand new off-camber section there. Only short, but it is brand new. We'll see what she's got for this 4th split here. 3.6 up at split 3.
Seeing the girls riding, just so they're so confident. You know, she's throwing it around those turns, and you know, hopefully, I mean, maybe I'm biased, but you know, these conditions will suit her and suit some riders probably more than others.
Obviously suiting her so far. 11.2, riding with obvious confidence into this final section here.
Yeah, and that was sick. See how she's dropped her heels and she's really pushing against those pedals, and she's a super strong rider. It's really cool to see these young girls just so good on the bike. The talent is deep. Charging
to the line all the way over the finish jump. She continues to sprint. She is going to dominate here. Heather Wilson lays down a scorcher and breaks the 4 minute mark. Wow, Heather Wilson claims that number one spot so far with authority.
A clean run, yeah, that was amazing. She'll be happy with that.
Ella Svegby on course.
And
what
I think
can
just
she
like
do?
getting a clean run, in these conditions, it's so difficult, isn't it?
Do you think it's patience? You have to be patient?
Yeah, and it's really difficult here because you've got this whole long motorway section and it's really easy to blow up. You lose all your energy, you get to and then you get to these woods which are so steep and gnarly. You've got no energy, you start getting pumped, you start getting arm pump, and if your arms go and your hands get tired, they're maybe like, what's this, a minute and a half, 2 minutes?
Yep.
It's so, you really kind of need to save your energy at the top and not kind of blow up not push too hard on that top section.
Now, Ella's had a great top section here. She was actually in front of Heather. She's just dropped 1.3 as we step into the woods here. She's charging that outside line, which apparently has been the rider's favourite for early morning practice. That inside line must be treacherous right now with all the rain.
So hard for them, that early morning practice. Almost by the time the elites get on track, they've done all the hard work. The juniors have cleaned it up and dried it out a bit.
So she's 1.3 back just out of the motorway section, losing a little bit of time to Heather. What can she do into the woods here?
Kind of bike and socks and matching. That's good.
Early practice, early race. It must be an early start for our junior athletes. What are we talking, 5 a.m. start?
Yeah, it's so early, and that makes it hard, That makes it, if you're not used to riding, who wants to ride throwing themselves down a mountain at 7 a.m.?
She's just lost 1.3 in that final section. She just makes the break.
That was good, though. I think once they make it over that jump, they're like, yep.
Look at that. Ella took split 1, split 2, and Matilda's fastest in split 3. Heather Wilson claimed split 4 and split 5 into the woods. What can Ella do in our final section? Those ruts are going to become a nightmare. Look how
I
deep
saw
they
Sven
are.
Martin at the end of qualies yesterday taking photos of them. I reckon they're about a foot deep now.
Ella Svegby across the line. What she got for her? She got a 4:05, and she'll go into second place. Heather Wilson holds on to the hot seat. And Sasha Mills holds on to third. Reese Van Leuven, our 2023 world champion in the start gate.
And the Kiwis, oh my gosh, these girls just nailed it in qualies. Top 3, all of them.
There is something in the water in New Zealand right now. There's so much talent.
It's so cool, yeah. It's so exciting. And they're all like super exciting riders. Reese she's just so cool to watch on a bike. She's so stylish. She's so confident. Her whips, she does a lot of the kind of free ride events, and she's kind of the whole package really. Racing and also, big jumps, whip off competitions. And
do you think
so funny.
being around that common Saalteen is helping her at the moment, building that confidence?
Yeah, I think it's good, isn't it? Because you have kind of
inside.
the older riders. And it gives you a lot of confidence, and you kind of share lines and tactics. And
look at that, being aggressive at the top, and you can see she's 1.5 seconds up here as we start to approach our motorway section into the first stump wood section.
She have a puncher at Fort William.
Look at that name I just spotted there, Rachel Atherton.
Oh yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think she flattered at Fort William, and I feel like that a bit of anger and a bit of aggression for races is really good. It really gives you a bit of a kick. Confident
line there on that little lily pad onto the motorway. She just lost a little bit of speed. What she got for us for split 2? Reese, what can our current world champion do for split 2? She's 2.7
I'm just enjoying watching it. It's sick. Yeah, and it's so cool. Like I thought she'd those jumps, those wooden ramps, it's like a real decision. Do you go for the wooden ramps and risk casing it and losing your speed, or do you commit to the kind of the tabletop and get that pump?
Stop it, Reese. Look at that. Here she comes.
I feel like it's going to be like a whip-off between probably Arisa and Valley.
Yeah.
Valley's whips yesterday were better than Bruni's on the final jump, so we'll see what she's doing on the last jump.
Reese is staying nice and low there. You can see she's trying to be as aero as possible, keeping them elbows down, that head down.
Yeah, then you get to these wall rides and you take a deep breath, because if you don't, there's so much G-force. Your helmet's coming down over your eyes. You're like,
wow.
Everything is just getting crushed.
4.3 seconds up for our 2023 world champs. And she gets into the woods.
She's getting loose. If she can get through these woods clean.
Oh, you can feel the adrenaline.
Yeah,
you can feel the anticipation here.
And the crowd's up there as well. Like they're so close, and they're already so excited with the chainsaws and all the kind of bells.
Goes for that inside line. Can she hold it?
Nice.
Wow, that is a absolute display of confidence.
Yeah, that was impressive, keeping that high line. And that rut, if you can get into that rut and stay in it, it's kind of holding you. But it's strange, there's ruts and then there's no ruts. It's really kind of odd how the ruts form.
There's almost no ruts and no support in this off-camber section here. It's held together quite nicely, considering I expected that to blow out a lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, no, all it needs is one rider to ruin the rut for you, and you kind of... Yeah.
Oh, maintaining good speed. She's 5.5 up. She continues to dominate, continues to extend that lead. Is this the run of the day from Reese?
Oh, that was so clean and so controlled through all those wood sections, not dabbing, not sliding.
She does look controlled. She's anticipating the track. She's attacking this track all the way.
Yeah, she's not getting loose. It's not like wild, is it, out of control?
No, she's definitely preparing herself for the next corner. She navigates that last rutted section with ease. She's on the pedals hard. She's still staying low, looking for that aerodynamic advantage. A big whip across the line. We love to see it. Reese Van Leuven, 4.7 seconds up. Our new hot seat leader, Max Commensal, stoked on that one. He's got an eye for talent, and that is a talented young rider.
Oh, what a run. I think that would be, that'd be up there, I think.
That'll be hard to beat. Wow, look at the confidence through this section here, just attacking those roots. You mentioned this before, riding with confidence and attacking the track rather than letting it come to you, and takes that inside
and almost
line.
Like in these conditions, like if you do commit to that speed, the speed kind of carries you over and carries you through the ruts and the things that are going to unseat you. If you're going a lot slower, it's often worse and it's much harder.
Really interesting seeing that she opted not to jump those jumps up there. You think that's a tactic?
I think if you go for the wooden ramps and you case it, you just lose a lot of speed. Whereas if you just commit to the tabletops, you get that down slope and you pump, and it's almost better.
Oh, the team is stoked on that. That's a fantastic run from our young 2023 world champion. Now, speaking of world championship podium, Sasha Ernest, she's on track as we speak.
Oh, it looks pretty with the flowers and the mud.
It does look pretty to start the course here in that upper bike park section. Oh, aggressive in the upper turns.
Yeah, and she's a tall rider, so she's a lot taller than Reese, and I feel like in these big compressions, in these big holes, it kind of helps her to stay out if she's a lot taller.
Dance.
Yeah. And it's a janky track, like there's a lot of kind of compressions, like flat impacts, almost up hills where you're like dropping bang, and it's not very, the riders are saying it's not very flowy and smooth.
Oh, she just missed the key part there. Yeah. Oh, that's going to cost her. She was on pace. She was 0.02. She was 1.5 seconds up there.
Oh, I feel like, and this, like we were saying before, that's key speed out of that turn. Will take you all the way along this motorway and almost all the way into the woods.
Oh, let's pay attention to see what happens here. She came in 1.5 seconds up on a Reese. What can the fellow countryman do?
Oh, so the second split was at the top in that stump section somewhere?
Just after the stump section. So we just saw she made that mistake coming out of the stumps, which is going to cost her a lot of time into this. Can she get on the pedals? Can she make up for it? We'll see as she approaches the bottom part of our motorway section
and
into
even
the wall
things
ride.
Like on this section, like even the tightness of your kit, stuff like that will make a big difference here.
That's a factor.
Which is,
the aerodynamics. Yeah. What are we talking up here? 50, 60 kilometres an hour?
47.9.
There you go. It's like you read that off the screen, the speed trap.
Yeah, I've absolutely no idea. I was probably about 20k.
Look at that. So it has cost her just over a second, but she's still up. She's still up into this lower wood section.
This race is on, yeah.
Oh, wow. Absolutely no holds barred into the woods.
Yeah, she's committed. That's cool.
Super cool. Charging hard. Not worried about the wet one bit.
Oh, so you just saw her drop over that step with the wood in it and her back wheel. You can see it here. She came over this step and there's a big compression, then her back wheel just missed the rut.
Yeah, she was about 6 inches off that rut there.
She tried though, she held it. She didn't dab, she didn't put her foot down, but if the tyre misses the rut, there's absolutely nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do. We saw in that section earlier, she did come in a little bit hot, so that maybe that forced her to stress out just a little. Oh,
it's so precise where you have to go, and then, she's stuck in the net. Oh, a nightmare.
Oh, nightmare.
If sometimes you can save it, you fall, you lay on your side, you can get up and almost carry on, but if you get in that net.
Oh, and the come down now that
Yeah. And it's really hard to carry on, to keep going, because you've crashed and maybe your hands are dirty and you think, well, what's the point? You know, do I go for that jump? Do I risk it? You kind of lose that flow.
There's plenty of confidence to take away from that run. She was up. She was riding well.
Yeah, it was good.
Not
run.
scared. Not scared one bit.
And you can see how upset the other girls are for their teammates and their friends. You know, they're all pretty tight friends, which is cool.
That's all right. Our final rider, a #1 seed for our junior women's, is on track. Eliana Holzbosch on track here. Another Kiwi.
Another Kiwi.
Top 3 Kiwi rippers.
So she's riding for the Union, which is Joe Bowman's team, and he started it to, you know, to develop talent and give them a chance, and it's absolutely working for them. They've had some amazing results at the kind of Crankwork series early on in the year.
This fresh grass section here. She gets that high line, high, all the way across.
And you can see they're using their knees to keep their body weight into the hill. You're using your feet, even your elbows. You kind of use every bit of body weight that you have to get that grip into the hill.
Just having a cheeky glance at our Red Bull windsocks up there, and there doesn't seem to be any wind.
Yeah, the windsocks are, that's ideal. If you get a headwind, unlucky.
It's unlucky. She's looking good through this top section here, nice and smooth. She's 0.9 of a second back, so just under a second, but anything can happen into this lower woods. Reese just comforting.
Oh, she'll be gutted, absolutely gutted.
Absolutely gutted. Hopefully she's okay. Look at the mud on her handlebar there. Oh,
yeah,
my goodness.
You know, holding on to that when you're covered in mud. And
impossible.
Oh, she ripped that turn. That was sick. And I feel like the fatigue is starting to kick in about now. The excitement of the start is worn off, and then so you realise...
Already you can feel that.
Yeah, you just feel like, wow, I'm halfway down. I've got a long way to go still. You don't lose concentration.
Oh, she just got a little bit held up there coming into this final stump section.
Oh, that was good, though. There's a few lines through there, and she, like, railed that outside, got straight on the pedals.
Straight on the pedal. She could see how much more exit speed she brought onto the motorway section, and she's made it back. She's almost made up 1.1 second. She's 0.2 of a second up on Reese as she comes into the motorway section. We've noticed she did carry more speed into this section than Sasha. So what can she do coming down here, opting to scrub the jumps? Oh, it goes for the big dog.
Oh, I'm nervous.
Oh, I'm nervous too. What have we got going on here? It's amazing conditions.
Yeah, these jumps are actually really daunting because you're going so fast along here, and you're actually like, am I going to overshoot this? And it's really hard to get the right speed.
No brakes.
Yeah, if you overshoot it, it's almost as bad as casing it because you lose that speed.
Do you test race pace before the race run?
Yeah, I do. I would always do a couple of stop maybe once or twice, but you need to know how you're coming into these bottom woods fatigued, because a lot of riders make that mistake. You're coming in race run, it's a totally different ball game. If you ride these fresh all week, it's a different, you're not going to know how you feel and which lines you should be on.
So she has dropped a little bit there through that motorway section, 0.8 of a second.
Oh, shoot! Oh, clip back in. Off the drop.
She just got straight back in there.
That was amazing. Oh, go, go, go. You've got it. Yes. Oh, my gosh.
Keep on charging. She's holding on to it.
Well held.
Well held. The rodeo is real. Hold on to that bad boy.
Once you've got a foot down, maybe her cleats are full of mud and she can't clip back in. There's no flat spots to clip back in and right yourself.
And how do you regain your composure after something like that? You can feel her heart rate just going through the roof.
I wouldn't be surprised if one foot isn't clipped back in yet. You know, you just get on with it. Oh my gosh!
Oh no! Big moment there.
Oh, she's going to be I feel like she should just chill out. And
you can see the stress. That early mistake is compounding. She's into the woods. She's trying to make up for it now.
Oh my gosh. Oh, what a legend.
Oh, wow.
That was
our #1 seed. What has Eliana got for us as she charges away down the hill?
She didn't drop too much time, really.
No, she did at 1.8, considering that wild ride coming down there.
Basically rode the whole wood section on her top tube and her bar.
And she lost 1 second. Navigates the route.
Oh my gosh, I'll be pleased to see that last jump.
There she goes.
What a run.
Sprinting to the line. One more jump to go. Eliana across the line.
Oh my gosh, second.
An exciting run. Second place for Eliana Holzbosch. And that means Reese van Leuven, our current world champion, takes the win here in Leogang, Austria. What a race.
Oh, that was incredible.
From our junior women. Oh my goodness, that was so exciting to watch. You could feel the stress. There's so much drama.
Yeah. And look what it means, you know, she's definitely been getting after that win all year, but a couple of kind of errors and a puncture and
Look at that, another Kiwi lockout. 1, 2, 3. The New Zealand future of downhill is real. And look what it means to her.
But for Ellie to kind of deal with that pressure of qualifying first, you know, it does make you nervous. It kind of puts the pressure on.
And look where that started. She could see she tucked the front early into the wood section before the bridge. She got caught out on that section that claimed Sasha Ernest. She held under that bucking Bronco the whole way down.
I feel like their reactions are going to be so good to watch all the way down.
Oh,
yeah,
they are literally on the edge of it.
There's no time to kind of right yourself. So she did really well to hold on to that and keep it going.
She did really well. What a run. And hold on to a podium place all the way to the finish. Oh, yeah, no doubt. Their arms were pumped and the eyes were wide. So come away with third place.
Fort William. And she's second here? Second or third?
There we have it. Heather Wilson comes home in third place, 4.7 seconds back. Eliana Hoshbosh holds on to second with a 4.71 behind our number 1 champion for today, Arise van Leuven, the 2023 world champ.
4.7 back, 4.74 for Heather Wilson. So they were like super tight, Ellie and Heather.
It's incredible. A sign of things to come in that woods there. We're not anticipating it drying too much more. Wow. Let's have a look.
And it's amazing to see, you know, the nationalities of these girls. Like, it really is a World Cup. They've got Americans, they've got Southern Hemisphere. We definitely got the Southern Hemisphere arrived.
Southern Hemisphere
arrived at the World Cup.
Reese really making it happen through that motorway section up top. Staying low, staying pro, not jumping the jumps. Maybe that was the difference. Maybe that speed advantage helped
her stay calm. But look how I feel like her shirt could not be baggier. So if she had a tighter shirt, she would have won by even more.
That's the hot tip, you think?
Yeah, hot tip.
There you go.
I even raced here once, 2 years ago.
Well, we're going to hear from Maurice now and see what it means to her.
Arise van Leuven conquers here in Leogang. It's so good to have a chat with you and see you at the top of the podium once again, first time this season. How good does that feel?
Oh, so good. Had a bit of a rough season. Like, start of the season, Fort Will was going real fast and then had a bit of a puncture. So that ruined my dream there, but yeah, really happy to be on the top.
What was different today? What were the conditions like?
It rained a bit overnight, so it was pretty slick. And so my main goal was really just to get down the woods safe and the whole track to just have a solid run. And it worked really well. Had a few little minor errors, but basically it was a pretty good run. So yeah, really happy about it.
Talk us through the woods section because it looks so gnarly out there today.
Yeah, well actually both where Ali and Sash had mistakes. It's kind of, today is my first day properly doing that high line because I used to go low there. So somehow I managed to stick it. I don't know, may have buggered the track up there for them on the ruts or something. But yeah, just you kind of got to just really focus on that section and not try to go too quick, like what I did last year, basically. Yeah.
It's great to see you doing so well here. You did just have a quick chat with your coach. What does she say to you? It was a nice embrace there.
Oh yeah, just really good job and how solid my run was, which is kind of my main goal for today because of the conditions. Yeah.
Well done, Arise. Back at the top.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic to hear from our 2023 world champ. Stoked, to say the least. In a difficult race run, managing these woods, going from that upper bit and obviously attacking the track the whole way down. Manages to hold that line that claimed so many of our junior women talent coming down there. I mean, Rach, you could really see how much she attacked the track. She wasn't waiting for it. She was going to get it the whole way down. Yeah, and I feel like the
shorter riders, because you know, some of the riders are shorter and they ride much more aggressively. Like you say, they kind of look like they're attacking all the way, like literally the whole body, like hooking off the drops, like railing the turns. It kind of like, they look kind of impressive to watch because they really use their whole body. A taller rider like kind of makes it look so easy, like smooth. They're just like, men are like soaking up all the bumps.
So as you can see, Heather Wilson still holds on to that overall standings in the series. Arise van Leuven gets into second place and Eliana holds on to third after that wild ride.